And we're back. Not quite. And we're back.
And we're back. We have the record knob turned all the way up.
That's how you do it in the podcast game.
Yeah, if you are not familiar with podcast production, there is a knob. You have to decide how much record you want. Do you want it all the way up? You do.
It's what happens when you're your own producer.
Actually, I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if we found out you don't want it all the way up.
Yeah, you probably want it like 75%.
Yeah, there's gonna be somebody in the comments like all the way up.
Yeah, we're going to have people commenting. That's likely.
Brendan Morris will be like all the way up.
Brendan.
Morris be like, I'm a bit of a motherfucker. I fuck moms.
That was just for the locals.
I guess what we're saying, Brendan, is if you are looking for work that does not pay, get a hold of us.
You could be a part of that magic.
All right, getting into the serious stuff, America stuff. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Joe, how was your 4th of July?
It was good. I think you know that because we spent it together.
That sounds way more romantic than it was. Or maybe Joe viewed our 4th of July as way more romantic than it was.
We did have some drinks on the beach and watch a sunset.
We did. And we did crush Scott and Lily at pickleball.
We won. Yeah, we handled balls. And
Yep.
We took care of business.
Yeah. We had an incident with a kid. I was uncomfortable. I think I made some people uncomfortable.
You were hot, but
Yeah.
understandable. The kid just jumped on your shit.
Yeah, I was pretty drunk. So, like, in my memory, I see him walk up to it. A small child walks up to my pickleball net, looks at it, not pickleball, spike ball,
Spike ball.
looks at it, and then just jumps on it.
Yeah, 2 foot, hard jump.
Yeah, both
Full
feet.
weight.
Yeah, like an angry jump, and you heard a little crack.
Not like a test. Like, hey, is this thing a trampoline? It looks like kind of like a trampoline.
Like he'd be that kind of kid that would go to cannonball in the lake and then find out like it's frozen over or there's like a tarp on the top of it.
He would deserve that.
I hate being mean to anybody, but yeah, I don't know if I heard that story. If I'd be like, oh, I'm bummed out that it happened to him.
Yeah, I think you reap what you sow there.
A kid's gonna get into a bad accident in his 20s and fuck, should never jumped on that spike ball net.
Karma is a bitch.
I confronted the child after the dad came up and checked it out and was like, "Oh, is it bad?" I was like, "It'll be fine." But then later, I got heated and I asked the kid, like, "What were you thinking?" And he thought it was a trampoline. That's what he said.
You know, as one does.
I mean, like, so this kid just like goes around and anytime he sees trampolines, he's just like, "I'm jumping." Like neighbor's got trampoline, he's just rolling over there.
Be a good way to live life.
Yeah. To be fair, one time we were on a lake back in the day when the water trampolines were popular, and we swam with scuba gear from like 3 houses away so that we could jump on this person's water trampoline at night.
Snorkel gear or scuba gear?
Snorkel gear. We didn't have scuba gear.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
As kids, it felt like scuba gear.
And then taking off all the scuba gear as you get to the trampoline.
Gotta leave it under, you gotta dive for it.
Secret agent shit.
No, yeah, we just wanted to jump on this person's trampoline and not get caught.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, it was. They were never. Did you ever jump on one?
Yeah, never really got good height.
Yeah, because like the water, it's always dispersing when you're landing. You need a more stable platform.
A lot of shock distribution.
Yeah, I jumped on one good one once, but it was at like this Christian kids resort, and the Christians, they got the good money. They got the good. You need just a huge trampoline with like way more than any ordinary household could afford.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, you got to tithe hard.
Tithe hard.
Give up that 10%.
Tithe hard with a vengeance.
So that kids can jump on trampolines in the summer. How are you recovering physically and emotionally from the 4th?
I didn't really take any damage.
Nice. I think I would have been fine if I would have stopped at Thursday.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I didn't really keep the party going.
You had to go to work?
No.
No. Just chilled out for America.
Switched to edibles and laid on the couch.
What kind of edibles you doing? Gummies?
Yeah, the play from
Allswell.
Allswell.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out.
They're the best.
Sponsor us. Just give us weed.
Yeah, give us weed. We will smoke it and say how good you guys are.
We'll already say you're good.
Yeah, we are already saying that. That's true.
Shout out.
I had to stop doing gummies. I can only do the RSO now.
Are they just not up to your standards, or?
Oh, they are up to my. This is more of a me issue than like a beef with cannabis. Like, I like eating candy too much. Like,
Okay.
I don't keep it in the house, so like I have a really hard time not eating all of whatever I buy in one go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like you can buy a bunch of dabs. Like you can only do so many dabs before like your lungs tap out. Like you can eat an alarming amount of edibles.
Oh yeah. And especially when you got an hour before they kick in.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's very fiddly. I ate 200 milligrams before a weekly poker game I play in. I haven't had chocolate in like a year. I just don't eat it that often. And I got a chocolate bar sample at work, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. I will have a small amount before the game starts. And like 30 minutes before the game starts, like I'm already starting to feel it set in, and I'm panicking. I'm like, where is this going to stop?
Yeah, I often have trouble not finishing the bag if I crack open some edibles.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking big American boys. Like, I forget who says it's like you stop eating when like the food's gone. Like that's usually when I stop.
Yeah,
And that just doesn't work with gummies. Because I get a really good like 30 milligrams. Like I'm blasting off. I'm having a great time. 200 milligrams. It's still fun, but I don't want to be high in the morning.
Yeah, 200 milligrams usually just puts me pretty much in a pretty sleepy mood.
Okay. I always feel like it's like you have to like break through the sleepiness. You know, it's like breaking out into outer space. Like if you don't get enough momentum, you're gonna come crashing back down for a nap. But if you can get through,
I mean, honestly, I generally don't care to break through the sleepiness.
just let it ride.
If I'm taking that much, I kind of want to be sleepy. I feel like.
Oh, okay.
But
I feel like I'm going down on this one.
I'm already prepared for my afternoon to not have much going on or whatever time of day. You know, I'm crushing a whole bag.
Putting the bags back. Doing a bag.
Bag with the boys.
Dude, that's what it is, man. If you got some boys, that's way safer.
Oh yeah.
You know, 200 milligrams, even split amongst a couple boys. 100's much safer.
Oh yeah.
Much more reasonable.
You can operate on 50.
Yeah. You know, maybe that's what the cannabis industry is trying to push us towards. Like, dude, just be hanging out with the fellas more often.
That's fair. Saturdays are for the boys.
Mm-hmm. Just got to grab one of those boys on the Tuesdays if you're trying to get wild.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't like edibles as much as I love dabbing, though.
Yeah, I much prefer the high off a dab.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know that it's like the high. I just like that aggressive change. Like the edibles are so slow and like creep up. Like the dab's like getting hit.
That's fair.
It's like, oh. I left all my dabs in my van on Monday when I worked all day, and all I had was. But I brought my RSO with me, and I was like, I'll just not. Doesn't even matter.
Do they get melty when you leave them?
The dabs?
Yeah.
No, the van. I have a fan and stuff in it, and like a bunch of stuff to keep it. Like it never really gets any hotter, like than like 7 or 8 degrees hotter than the ambient outside temperature.
That's good.
Yeah, or else I would cook.
Yeah.
If it does get really hot, I have a fridge in there I can just dump them into, which is nice.
A solution for every problem.
I know, but the fridge is a hassle because then when you take it out, you have to wait for it to like heat up before you open it, or else you'll get condensation.
Condensation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good. I feel bad. I don't know the name of the band, but I saw a band at Little Fleet on Friday, and that was really good.
Nice.
It's just got such a nice outdoor setup for like bands and stuff. It's got a really great stage, and then they have like a little, I don't even know if you call it like a band shell, but like raised bleacher seating against the wall, and then like all the under seating around it. It's a really cool setup. Really good band.
Cool spot.
They could also sponsor us. We just get sponsored by everybody.
Yeah, sponsorships are cool.
Yeah, we need to, guys.
We can support local business. They can support us. It's a magical handshake.
I did get hammered down there. Like as soon as we sat down and looked around, I was like, me and my buddy from college, and we're like, fuck, we're about to spend like $70 to $100 tonight. I was like, yep.
Easy to do.
Yeah, it was. It was quick. Not quick, but like, I was like, whoa. All my cash was gone. But it's good. They had delicious lemon drop gin, like slushy drinks.
That's crazy.
Thank you, Joe. I might have to. I'm going to ask you to slow down on those ones until I find out what the volume was, because in the last one I edited, they were outrageously loud compared to our conversation.
Ah.
Like, I was going to have to look. Is there a place on the soundboard that like to turn the sounds down?
Monitor maybe?
Probably not that we should mess with now that we're into it.
Yeah, that's probably not the best of ideas.
That is something I'm going to write that down. We need to test the sounds.
Test the sounds.
There's got to be a way to modulate them with the. Yeah, it was good. Did that on Friday. God, the food there was so good too. They have. Have you ever been to like the little seafood one that they have there?
I have not partaken in many of the food trucks there. It's been a while since I've gone.
Oh, it was so good. They have the seafood one. We got like half a pound of shrimp. We got some lobster tostadas. It was good times.
Good times to be had.
Yep. And on the 6th, we went back up to Sailor, and we just hung out on the beach and did mushrooms.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, I was pumped. I never get my belly tan enough. It's always my back.
Oh, yeah.
My neck gets real tan.
Got some tummy time?
Dude, I got a lot of tummy time.
Little tan tummy time?
I fell asleep one time too, so I do have like a little bit of a crop top tan going on too. But overall, pretty
Got
good.
a little belly burn going?
It didn't get to burn. It was real close.
Just
Yeah.
a golden hour.
You know, like when you're cooking and you don't set an alarm and like you smell, you're like, ooh, I got to get there quick.
Yeah.
It was one of those. There was like halfway through the day, I was like, I'm going to need to put a shirt on or there's going to be problems.
Lightly toasted.
It would have felt weirder too to like rub your belly when you're sunburned. Like when someone's putting stuff on your shoulders, that feels right.
Yeah.
Like your tummy sunburned. There's
Sometimes you got to rub that belly.
Yeah. Yep. It was good. I feel like how'd your set go last night at Union? I came in, as I often do, desperately ready to go to the bathroom and just said, I waved to you, which I hope that didn't throw you off.
Oh no, that's cool.
You acknowledged me. I felt good, but I also was like,
It wasn't going well before you waved.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh.
It was a cold crowd. I know it's a lame move to blame the crowd, but
They were tough.
they weren't feeling me.
Yep. Well, it's like I don't have enough to like win back a crowd that's not feeling me.
Yeah.
I don't have like Batman can go into his utility belt. He's got a lot of different options. I feel like I pretty much have the batarang, and if they're not feeling the batarang, they're gonna need a different hero.
Yeah, I tried to give Glenn a little razzing up top, and they didn't enjoy that. They think bullying is mean. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
bullying. Oh, what kind of bullying? What?
It was pretty gentle. I was like, no, I could do a character of a weird dude and just come out here and fart a set out.
Addison left. I was gonna go up there. There's enough people in shorts. I was gonna be like, "Ooh, we got some kind of fucking gay cross country rally going on here."
I was one of the people in shorts.
He was. Addison had on some shorts last night. He had those gams out.
Yeah, he was ready for a run.
Yep. Looking very streamlined.
Yeah, aerodynamic.
Mm-hmm. Looking good last night. Yeah, those guys in the back that were saying stuff, was that going on all night? Or did that just like peak right when I got there? Because they were like...
I think it was going on for most of the show, but I didn't really notice it until you got there.
Mm-hmm.
When they really started getting bad. Because there's always noise coming from the back.
Yeah, conversations and stuff. But it was like weird.
It didn't make sense, the
Yeah.
things they were yelling out. So that's why I didn't think they were heckling. I thought it was just somebody yelling at their friend in the back of the bar.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, that is related to what? Okay.
Which, like, you still tell them to shut up. But
Oh, Jeremy did so good.
yeah, that was a good one.
That was so
Good
funny.
singer.
Yeah. Brought it around. because I feel like I don't know, I want to have, looking back on it today, rewatching my set, which was agony, by the way. It was agony going through it last night. It was agony rewatching it.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Didn't like it. But what I was thinking to myself was just like when Stromile, there was a black comic visiting from Detroit that I had to follow to close the show. When Scott asked me to close the set out, I was like, I got a wave of positivity. I was like, Scott believes in me. Like I can do this. Like I've seen the animes when the power of friendship
Oh yeah,
like defeats a more powerful enemy.
power of friendship will save you.
Yeah, I was ready to be saved by the power. And then like right before I'm about to go up, Scott's like, we got one more drop in. And it's like a seasoned comic out of Detroit, this guy Stromile. And he just had so much energy. And a minute into his set, I was like, I am so screwed.
He was dressed like a high school football coach too. I was I was almost having like PTSD flashbacks.
Oh,
If he would have had a whistle, I would have been doing up downs.
there's like a Venn diagram. There's a lot of overlap between high school football coaches and guys that play golf on the weekends.
There really is, but they're not the same people.
No, they shop at the same place, but they
Yeah.
are not the same people.
Pretty crazy.
You just switch out the whistle for the little marker for the golf ball, and that's the difference for the whole outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like that's what I want. I was like, I don't know. After doing the set at Right Brain a couple weeks ago, like now that I've like put stuff together and like looked at all my old material, I'm like, I hate everything I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a feeling you should get used to.
Yeah, and then going up after that, being like, I hate all my material, and then that guy is like, I'm in love with all of. He's in love with all of his own material, and the crowd can tell. I'm like, they're gonna tell that I'm not in love with much of this right now. And then the few things I did love, they were like, we're mad that you even thought we would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Told the Avengers Endgame joke. Like I thought that was like a solid. Like 2 weeks ago, that hit so good. I'm like, yes, we're going places with that joke. It was.
Take the wind right out of
It
your
was
sails.
dead on arrival last night.
It's cold.
Yep. Yeah, maybe yeah, sensitive crowd, sensitive, tired.
I don't know. It was a weird structure to the lineup.
Oh, how so?
It started out Tony Don't. And
Oh,
then,
by the way, Tony, don't. If you're watching this, I'm gonna shout you out again. Just stay away from my girlfriend.
yeah. And then I believe Addison was next.
Okay,
And then Glenn,
coming out intense.
then me.
Okay. Oh, so I only really did miss 4 people.
I think I was five, but I don't remember who else.
Mm-hmm.
Be more memorable.
All right, all right. An interesting mic overall.
Yeah. That was a weird vibe.
I mean, it's an open mic though. Like I feel like the problem with like it was so interesting when me and my girlfriend went down to Texas and she went to what I would consider like a real open mic. That was just like 30 open micers in her, and they were all just terrible.
Yeah.
It's like they've had too many good open mic shows at Union Street. Where like not everybody kills, but there's like a good chunk of people that did really good, and then even everybody else like gets some solid laughs. It's like that is not open mic comedy. That is tricking people.
Yeah, it is better than most places. There's a couple of those rooms in the state.
Where else? Where else do you like?
Uh, River City Saloon in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
Shout out Carl Sobel, runs it. That's a good mic. Consistent crowd. Usually got pops going.
Nice.
People coming out for the show. And then, yeah. I'd say that's my number one for outside of Union Street.
Nice. What's Grand Rapids like? 2 hours from here?
Yeah, just I think exactly 2 hours.
I need to go to Grand Rapids more.
Yeah.
I get a job. I saw that the machine shop down the way was hiring.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start doing CNC lathe. I decided.
I think you gotta choke up on that mic a bit.
That's a good point. Ooh, it got quieter.
Yeah.
I changed where the position of the thing was.
Oh,
Now I can talk more manly and
yeah,
aggressive.
hit it.
I know. Fucking producer Joe over here, choke up on that thing.
I couldn't hear you in my headphones.
Oh,
I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Gotta go full microphone. Here we
Yeah.
go. That's why they go the whole. I'm still learning. It's a lot to take in.
Now you're gonna go to edit, and it's just gonna sound like monster voice.
I'm gonna be mad again. Shout out iMovie. It's got a. I mean, I don't have to edit much of it. It's just like a button you click, and it's like auto, and then you just watch it like go through and chop out the highs and bring up the lows.
It's pretty tight.
It's like go little computer go. I gotta figure out. I wish we had people watching because then in the comments they could write what's the best way to edit. Because like right now, if I don't know what I'm cutting out, I just listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's sounds inconvenient.
It's time consuming.
Yeah.
It's time consuming. It's not the end of the world though, because there's like enough things that I can do on the computer. Like I'm not editing so much video that like I can't just like clean up all my emails or stuff or like organize some life stuff in the background. And when I hear something, I'm like, oh, I gotta go over and do it.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's got to be a better way.
I would imagine there's probably is.
Because yeah, there's like somebody's like editing like a YouTube video out of like 10, 15 hours of footage. There's got to be something smart they're doing. Or they just got some kid named Brendan just locked in a closet, just watching videos 24/7.
It's possible.
Again, Brendan, what are you doing? Oh, I'm mad too. I had not like a crazy good joke, but an idea for a joke that I'm pretty excited about that I forgot yesterday.
Oh, that could have turned it all around.
Like I said, like I know it wouldn't have turned it all around, but it's really easy to beat myself up and be like, well, you don't know that it wouldn't have helped.
Well, you could have gone out on top.
Yeah, could have been a champion.
Yeah.
Tony don't. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, I think, like, have you ever had a job that you hated that you're just like, I'm not going to try that hard and maybe they'll fire me and I'll be on unemployment and that won't be so bad?
Yeah, that was my last job.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of what Joe Biden is doing. They're just not letting him off the hook.
He's doing his best, man. He's like
Dude, I don't
90
think
years old.
I don't think he is. I think he's like a little bit more spry. He's like, I fucking hate this president shit. I want to get out of here. Oh, where am I?
He's saving it for the golf course.
Yeah, dude, he's got that 6 handicap. So
That's crazy.
that's not crazy. He's awesome at golf. And we're driving this man to be president. He just wants to relax. So he keeps getting worse and worse at his job. But everybody hates Trump so much they keep voting for him and it's pissing him off.
Maybe, yeah. Elder abuse.
It is. I feel like if he loses the election, dude, we'll just out there see him cranking him on the course.
I think he'll just die.
It's like when Obi-Wan Kenobi got hit by a Darth Vader's lightsaber. His robes are just gonna fall down.
I just feel like it's over.
He's just gonna become one with the Force.
Yeah.
No way, dude. He's just gonna be piping 270-yard drives. We're gonna see him on one of these Northern Michigan courses. A couple Secret Service guys. He's gonna be drinking a beer with John Daly.
That'd be pretty tight.
Yeah, dude. Why would you want to be president? That's so much work.
Once you saw that, you'd be sad you didn't vote for him, though.
I was like, God damn it, dude. He's lying about that. I totally would have voted for him. Our president needs a big drive. John Daly, 2028.
I don't know if he's the best choice, but
John Daly?
yeah.
Dude, that guy fucking hammers.
Well, yeah, he's got a good drive.
The extension, his rotation's incredible.
Well, yeah.
You don't want that representing America?
In the Olympics, if golf was an Olympic sport, yeah.
Is it not?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Probably not enough money in the Olympics for golfers to do that.
I think it's also already an international sport, so you don't really need to bring the Olympics together to have everyone compete internationally.
Oh, okay.
But that may be true of a lot of the other events.
Yeah. I think we're displaying a severe lack of knowledge about the Olympics right now.
Yeah.
You've been exposed, Joe. You don't know shit about the Olympics.
I don't. I really don't.
Dude, we should look into the Olympics for next week.
That'd be a good one.
I got some dope notes about chiropractors.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was astonished today.
Oh, yeah.
It was much more astonishing than the fireworks.
Oh,
The fireworks had like one good hit. It was like, yeah, dude, they needed demons to get out of the sky.
yeah, dude. Demons get out.
We lost that episode, but TLDR,
With all our
fireworks
hearts.
were invented because of demons in the sky.
Yeah, dude. Fuck them up.
Find Joe in Traverse City if you want to know more. He's kind of the demon in the sky expert around these parts.
Kind of a wise man, bit of a sage.
Yeah, when they say bad boy, I always hear wise man.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
It's one of those colloquialisms that they only use in Traverse City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll get out. I feel like the internet would be like, skibbity. I don't know what that one means. I just said it.
I'm not sure what it means. I was hoping you knew.
You know, I was playing for a VR sports team for a while, and I just got fed up with them a little while ago and not playing in the league anymore. But they're who kept me young. So I'm about to age really rapidly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like hanging out with kids online. Like I knew all the cool terms, but yeah, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I can't keep up. No cap. For real.
Yeah.
For real.
I just don't care what kids say anymore.
Yeah, it seems less intelligent, but I guess that was probably how it seemed to all old people throughout time.
I got my oil changed today, and I was talking to the guy about that, and it was like, I feel like my grandpa in my 30s. Like, I feel like what my grandpa was, because technology is moving so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like by my late 20s, I was like, there's already things I don't understand.
That's fair.
No. So, yeah, now if you're in your 30s, you're basically a grandpa. You got a few more years left.
But you're also still a child.
That's true. It's a stretch.
It's a weird
It's a conundrum.
weird place to be.
It is. Yeah, it used to be Asperger's. Now I'm just autistic. It's thrown me into a loop.
Damn, they stepped you up.
Yeah, I know.
They used to be like, yeah, it's Asperger's, it's mild autism.
I know. Yeah, now you just got to throw in the mild or high functioning.
Yeah,
Because if you just say autistic now, it's
wide net.
yeah, it really is.
Like, you're different. We're gonna call it autistic.
Special guy. That's what my mom says.
You can be my special guy.
All right, what else do we got on this note? All right, chiropractic. What do you know about how chiropractic started, Joe? Because
I forgot to do research.
you're currently seeing a chiropractor. Not, I mean,
Yeah, we have an
We
on and
date.
off relationship.
yeah. Joe gets into pain and he goes and gets straightened out.
Yeah, he fucking pops me. It's all up on my neck. Oh, sorry.
I hope it doesn't have those sounds. Sorry. He gets all up on my neck and he pops me. He cracks me to the left and then he cracks me to the right and then he makes me feel all right.
Joe literally bought the soundboard to do that.
That sounds a lot better than my usual voice. So.
He says he doesn't want to do characters, and then he's got the soundboard.
Comes across so much more smooth than my actual voice.
I know. I would love to have, not like crazy deeper, not like to the point where like people comment on all the time, but like just like 10% more.
Just kick it up a notch.
You know what the worst part is, saying that out loud? It's like I could do that just with like a little bit of training. Like if I did like some vocal lessons or something, I could get there.
Yeah, that is. Just talk like this.
Should be talking really deep.
Just talking real deep.
All right, let me say, so the guy that started chiropractic was a guy named Palmer, and he was into like healing with magnets and shit.
That sounds about right.
And he was trying to combine like science and mysticism to like heal people. And there was a janitor one day that was deaf that worked in his building. And I don't know how, a lot of this was pretty loose. A lot of this was from Wikipedia though, so I know it's true. But he noticed when the janitor bent over that like his back looked all fucked up.
Yeah, but his ass looked nice.
That wasn't in the Wikipedia.
I was watching him bend over a lot.
There was a lot of, and one time he saw on his back that his back was all fucked up. A lot implied in that.
Yeah.
But he gave him some sort of adjustment that put his back back, and then the guy could hear. And he's like, oh shit, maybe like the spine is where stuff's all messed up. And then he had like a year or two later, he had like heart palpitations, and he started like looking at dissections, like where the nerves went. And he's like, oh, maybe if I like adjust mine on the nerves, and then his heart thing went away.
I mean, it in theory it does make sense, but it just seems too good to be true.
Yeah, it's like
When every time I've gone, it's just relieved pain a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not a lost cause.
well, that's what it's like reading like the history. So that was in 1895, and then from like 1895 to 1912, they were in this weird place where they were like he was like spreading the message of chiropractic. Like at one time he wanted it to be a religion, but he was
That would have been a better world. Just think of all the people getting their necks snapped at church.
just just no more like little like tablets and wine. It's just adjustments.
Let me crack your neck. I got the Holy Spirit flowing through me.
The Lord took that one.
No training. No, I'm Episcopalian.
I'm cracking necks and voices like oh praise be his name.
Praise.
But yeah, so like it was like wild. Like they were getting like sued, and he was like, I don't have to get like certified for this because it's just innate healing. And then the guy's son was one of his students, and he died. The father died in mysterious circumstances.
He was fucked to death.
No, the dad was the creepy perv one. So the dad was the one that was checking out the janitor. The son was like this crazy business guy that was like, oh, we could turn this like. So the son ran the dad over with like a very early car. Like that's how he died. That's like the rumor. Like nothing was ever proven, but like as soon as you do one Google search, you're like, oh yeah, that dude ran that guy over. He ran his dad over, so we could take over the business.
It was pretty easy to fake that back in the early 1900s.
He's like, a car? Who owns a car? What are you talking about?
He got ran over by a horse.
2 horses. Yeah, ran him over and then just started like spreading this business until it was like everywhere. Like pumping out schools all over the place. And he was like super, I didn't write down the notes, but he was like really good at like dodging lawsuits. Like he was writing in his journal one day. He's like, yeah, as long as you say it like this, they can't sue us. It was sick.
As long as you make them sign a waiver before you do it, they can't sue you.
But it was like the other thing, reading the Wikipedia article, they were talking about like all the cures at the time. And are you familiar with homeopathy at all?
A little bit.
So that's like another one that like people just make fun of today. It's like sugar pills. They're like, oh yeah, we put something that hurts you in sugar and then take it away. And then we put that sugar in water, and then the sugar water makes you feel better.
Crazy.
So they were making fun of this, but like the other cures around this time were based on like morphine and mercury, and were apparently like super addictive. So people were getting addicted to mercury and morphine mixes, and their hair and shit was just falling out. And they were poisoning themselves to death.
That's a tough day.
So it's like you can make fun of it like a little bit like homeopathy, but it's like comparatively, it's probably way healthier than mercury.
Yeah. I think it is probably better, but it's probably more maintaining than healing.
Yeah. Well, it's just made up. It's like something made up is way better than poison.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you have the option between like a made up cure that probably does nothing.
Would you like a placebo or would you like to die?
Would you like slow death by mercury poisoning? I hope everyone learned a little bit. But yeah, he went to jail a bunch between like 1895 and 1906. I think he was in jail 3 different times.
DUIs.
He finally had to give his car to his son.
Maybe.
But you can't be trusted behind the wheel of this Model T. It might be a little early for the Model T. I don't really know the timeline back then.
I don't know. I was under the impression the Model T was rather early.
You think it was turned? I always feel like it was like the teens for some reason.
Could be.
I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll have to do another episode about cars.
Cars.
I did get ran over by a car. It'd be a good episode to do.
Cars.
I'm going to spring another segment on you. See any good media this week?
I watched the Godzilla versus Kong or whatever.
I'm so happy you said that. I also watched Godzilla versus Kong.
It was good, dude.
It was, dude, if you get super high and just suspend disbelief, that movie kicks so much ass.
You're like, okay, there's a giant gorilla and a lizard monster fighting a giant gorilla and a lizard monster. What?
What more do you want?
Yeah. If you need more than that, then I don't know. Go sit through a 3-hour French film.
And I love how like they just would like explain things like all crazy, like, oh, you know what's happening today? Oh, it happens to be a 10,000-year-old prophecy that you're all mixed up in.
Yeah, I could do with less people.
Yeah, the people were dragging it down.
It kind of sucked. They gave Kong a sick love, and then they could have just fucked off.
That was true.
They
Yeah.
could have gave it to him before he got hurt.
Spoilers ahead.
Sorry.
Kong gets his hand really badly frostbitten, and a metal glove is what fixes it.
Yeah.
The beef I had with it though is I was really freaking out when the Shimu, the cold Godzilla, was blasting him again with the metal, and he was blocking it. I was like, dude, metal gets really cold really quick.
Is a conductor.
Yeah, and it was the longest ice blast in the entire movie.
Yeah, but his nerves are already dead there. You know.
I don't think they are.
Wow.
Don't you remember the glove had the medicine in it?
Oh yeah.
I think the nerves came back.
Go Godzilla.
I don't feel like they didn't really use like the glove to like punch that much. Like he punched Godzilla with it once just to let him know, like, hey, fucking knock this shit off.
He got a couple good blows in with it.
Against the bad guys or just against Godzilla?
I think against the bad guy once he got the weapon away from him.
Oh, yeah. I remember like the whole time I was watching it too, I was like, I don't think that guy could have a whip that would last that long. Like as that spine decomposed, like
Yeah.
it would just be bones.
Yeah.
Like the tendons that hold it together. How long do tendons last?
Well, if you treat it right.
He's just in there like oil. He's
Just polishing
it. Yeah.
Moisturizing.
You can't let this shit dry out. My favorite part was like how all of the monsters like just communicated. I was watching it during poker, and they were like, "How are you watching a movie during?" I was like, "I don't need to listen to it. I just have the closed caption on." Like, there's only like 10 minutes of human dialogue. The rest is just like Kong like pointing.
Yeah.
Like when he was trying to like show Godzilla, like we got to go back down there and fight Shimu. Godzilla's like, I don't know what
Dragging his ass down there.
He's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? I don't speak Donkey
Like, you're
Kong.
my turf. That's what's up.
Yeah, you're fucking pissing me off.
We
man.
got beef.
Yeah. That's all I know is a
It's on site.
That is what they decided last movie. Like, don't come up here.
Yeah.
And I also love how like silly like the Hollow Earth. They were like, we need to have another movie. They're like, there's another Hollow Earth under the Hollow Earth.
Hollower
It
Earth.
just keeps going down.
What does this planet look like from space?
Yeah. Awesome.
I did think that the weapon the Scar King had was just bullshit.
The whip.
Just the talisman thing that allowed him to control the Frost guy.
Oh yeah, it just points it at him.
Just full control.
Yeah.
Because he has a little shard. It's like,
And I love how they didn't do anything. There's no backstory. They don't say where they got it. They don't say why it works.
and then the second he doesn't have it, he's just the weakest guy there.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta. He was badass with it though. Little combo.
Yeah.
I loved when he kicked the little baby Kong's mom into the. That was so nuts. Like, you're going into the lava. Oof. And
You don't give a fuck.
baby, no. That was good acting.
Yeah, Baby Kong was about it. I was hoping they were going to get Baby Godzilla in there.
Oh,
Vanilla?
Depends how this one does.
Yeah.
It's like they saw how good Baby Yoda did, and they're like, we are getting in on that.
I'd be much more into a kaiju universe than a Marvel universe. I guess I say that before there's 24 more movies.
Yeah, we're only 3 deep. We got to calm down. Because Marvel started losing me. Like, Civil War got too confusing.
Civil War was where I started to tap out. Then after Infinity War, I was like, yeah,
Yeah, Endgame and Infinity War were just fun because I was high.
yeah,
I don't think those two movies would have held up without copious amounts of drugs.
oh yeah.
But yeah, then I don't think I've watched any of the ones after that.
I think I saw one or two, but I don't remember it. I
You-
think I saw the Spider-Man.
Are you a Dragon Ball Z guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Nice. I feel like they run into the same problem that Dragon Ball Z did a much better job of solving. But also, Dragon Ball Z is going. I mean, they did run into problems, just power scaling. Like,
Yeah.
you got to know when to stop.
Well, when you got people blowing up planets in the first season, it's like, okay, where are we going from this in 1,000 episodes?
Yep. Well, it's like we almost need science to come up with like something else because, like, yeah, you have like the planet threat, then the galaxy threat, then the universe threat, then the multiverse. Like, we need science to come up with something after the multiverse so that we can also threaten that.
Omniverse.
Ooh, they got that, the Omni King.
Yeah.
Omni King Xeno. I was watching before I went to calm down for my nap today. I watched a 10-minute video about why it makes sense that Dr. Gero could make androids that were more powerful than Frieza. Yeah.
Why is that? Because he had the DNA of people more powerful than Frieza.
Well, yeah, he had the DNA, and then, geez, that was probably awesome for the audio. We need you, Brendan. But like when you just look at humans' technology, like we're judging that based on because like the humans kind of live like us, but their technology is insane in that universe. Like, capsule technology that like Bulma's family pioneers, like millions of pounds of things can be shrunk into a single capsule that you can pick up that has no weight.
Yeah, they really kind of lost track of how cool that was after Dragon Ball.
yeah.
Guy like saved a village with 2 capsules, and then
Yeah.
they just like forgot about it.
That was so good though. He was all freaking out. He's like, I need water so bad. They're like,
I need to win this competition so I can have the prize money to buy water. And he's like,
wait a minute,
there's
water?
a free well right there.
Dude,
Fill this up. It holds an ocean full of water.
shout out to Master Roshi. He was the real one.
Jackie Chun.
That was a good one too. I loved Master Roshi in the Tournament of Power. Master Roshi just clutch.
Oh, yeah,
Just giving him like one more shout out, like the whole like train hard, eat well, get lots of sleep.
Get ripped.
That's all you got to do to get ripped and be a good person.
Jerk off a lot.
What version are you watching, Joe?
He's always got porn.
That's true. That part is implied. Like he's the horn dog.
Yeah, dude.
Stay young, dude. You got to boost your testosterone.
True.
Are you a boxing fan at all?
Not really. I mean, I'll watch a match if it's on.
Yeah.
I
Was-
don't pay per view.
One of the most recent heavyweight guys, Tyson Fury. You familiar with him at all?
I've heard the name.
He is very hilarious. Apparently, it's like a well-known trade secret in like a lot of the martial arts things. Like now that they're testing for testosterone replacement, for a while you could do TRT, testosterone replacement, and dudes were just jacked.
Yeah, dude.
Now that they're testing for that in a lot more sports, you can raise your testosterone. So Tyson Fury in an interview was like, so they were asking him what he does to prepare. He's like, I'm masturbating 7 to 8 times a day,
Fuck yeah.
just cranking on it
IT.
because it boosts your testosterone levels. He probably got that from Dragon Ball.
Maybe.
He was watching Master Roshi. He's like, I think there's a secret here.
Third strongest human.
Makes your hair fall out, but
Yeah.
god dang it, are you strong?
My hair fell out, so
A couple buff guys running out of hair.
a couple strong guys losing their hair.
I was thinking about getting those little like tattoos like Krillin's got,
Oh yeah,
like the dots.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it might make me stronger.
Be a monk.
I like how he was a monk when it started, and then at the end of it, he's having kids with a robot.
Yeah, but she's not an android. She's a cyborg.
Didn't they wish that she was a human at one point? Did she?
Yeah, after they defeat Cell, they wish her back to being a human.
Yeah,
So
that's legit.
yeah,
I feel like the monks are like looking at Krillin like, dude, you get a pass. You saved the world a couple times. You go do whatever you need to do.
he also like died and came back to life. So
Oh, so like whatever vows he made of celibacy were for the last life.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you have to listen to religion if you
After
go to
you
the other
die,
side and come back.
Dude, I got some firsthand knowledge. I think
Like
I run this now.
like I was trained by a god. Like,
I have to adjust some of these books. Did you ever watch DBZ on a bridge? Or a
Yeah.
bridge? Yeah. Oh, that was so good.
it was good.
All the moments with TN like are already so good, but then on a bridge they're so much better.
For sure.
TN, Yamcha, and Krillin just get smoked all the time. But you guys were main characters at one time. We're gonna keep you around.
Sure. Sure.
We need you for the team.
Need you to buy some time.
I know it's
It's
always
about 5 minutes.
that's always what it was. Like Goku's like, I'm on my way. Like they should have known that. Like they just didn't know how to say no to Goku.
Yeah.
They're like we got killed by Saiba, man. We can't.
Only Yamcha.
That's true.
Krillin killed them all in one hit.
Krillin's the G.
Yeah, dude. Strongest human.
That's fucking Yamcha was too worried about his hair. He's always fixing his hair, chasing after Bulma. If he would have been training,
Yeah, dude.
his hair could have fallen out. He could have been Krillin.
Good.
So dumb.
I think in the lore he's like a professional baseball player and he does very well actually.
Yeah. But like in terms of like power in the rest of the universe, like the best baseball player just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, but you already know you can't even come close to competing. So it's like being the best baseball player is pretty tight.
That's what he's falling back on. Like on his resume, like very, very, very small. It's like I'm a Z fighter, and then pretty
Like-
big. He's like I play for the Yankees.
Can you name the best martial artist in the world?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. A lot of people could name baseball players.
Oh, okay. The best martial artist is Alex Pereira. Yes. Powhatan. Hands of Stone.
Stone.
I don't know that I can name any current baseball players. I feel like all of the ones I would know are older.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Justin Verlander, does he still play?
I think he's playing for the Astros still.
Oh, see, that's how like I know Verlander because he was like the big guy for the Tigers for a while.
He moved to Texas a while ago.
Nice.
Shout out Houston. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, hope you're doing good, Verlander.
Houston's underwater.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Rain?
Hurricane.
Not much of a news guy. Sorry, Houston.
Hurricane Barrel or something.
A barrel? Okay.
EYRL.
Okay. Anybody else besides Houston? Or is it just like a localized?
I've only seen it on like reels, so
Okay.
I don't really have the full scoop.
So if I just would have moved on, you would have looked good, and now I'm exposing you for not knowing shit. So they're giving shout outs to Houston. Shout out to Instagram Reels.
Yeah, shout out.
That was loud and bad. I think I hit the back of it.
There we go.
Yeah, it gives it a little like can.
Little hand drum.
Mm-hmm. That's how podcasts started out. It was 2 Campbell's soup cans on a string, and you'd stretch them out.
Hand them to people in the audience,
Yeah, it was a 1-to-1. It was a connection back then.
and then they would have to have their friend tell them what the other host is saying.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
2 people have a conversation, so 2 other people can have a conversation.
Spread slowly. Spread slowly.
True.
What do you think about crowd work?
I'm not good at it.
Yeah, me neither. That was part of the thing at the show up in Sheboygan that I was like, this will help me start working on crowd work. And what I think I really have to is I think crowd work will help when the crowd is rowdy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like making them participate will settle them down.
What does work for me crowd work wise, kind of not really crowd work, but kind of picking people out ahead of time and then writing down a little something,
Well, something.
because it does not come to me on stage.
Yeah.
And I don't want to engage them in conversation because then they feel like they need to shout back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just call them out for something real quick,
You go on. Yeah. What's always, yeah, like you're saying, like if you can connect that and then bring that back into your act, it's so perfect because then
True.
you got them. I got to try that at the show next week. I'll have to put this one out super quick. July 18th, 8:30, Hive North, Sheboygan, Michigan. Come see Joe Curtis.
I'll be there. See Ben Bradshaw and Joshua Paul as well.
Yep. Reigning newbie champion Derek Ryland. Ryman. Nobody knows how to say that last guy's name. It's impossible.
Yeah, you would know better than me.
It's true. And if I can't do it, nobody can. I'm excited. We got a couple newbies. We got Eddie Walsh is going to be coming out.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
fancy.
Yeah, he at least used to live in Hollywood for a while.
Ah,
No, that'll be good. Should be a good show. Come on out. We raised a bunch of money for the Sheboygan Humane Society. It's
yeah.
way easier to volunteer at humane societies than I would have thought.
Oh, you just show up.
Pretty much. Pretty much you show up and they're like, they taught us how to walk dogs, which was like, I know how to do this. And they were like, you look like you know how to do this. And I was like, all right. And then you just walk dogs. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Feeling good about it.
Good thing to do.
What time are we at?
51:30.
Okay.
You mean actual time?
Oh, I guess either way, yeah. I didn't know what time we started. It took us a minute to set up. If we're only at 51.
True.
We're still new. Still getting to it.
Still good. Still hot.
What you got for the week, Joe?
This upcoming week?
Yeah.
Not much. Trying to lay low this week.
How come?
Tired.
You're not like preparing for anything else. You just gotta gather some energy.
Yeah. Just feel like I'm always on the uphill, trying to gather some energy.
That is being an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. So just looking forward to a nice slow week.
You never think about it until you get older. And you're like, man, going to bed early rules.
It is pretty nice. That's why I wanted to do it a little earlier tonight.
What do you think? What's an early night for you?
9ish, 10.
Dang, in bed at 9?
I get up at 5:30.
Okay, that is intense. That is intense. 9 is a good time then.
Yeah.
Burn the candle on both ends if you're not in bed around that time.
I will sometimes, very rarely, do 8.
Get ahead of things.
Yeah. But it feels weird because it's still light outside.
Dude, that's what I have such a hard time going to bed when there's light out.
Yeah. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. Even if I have like the blinds and I can like black it out, it's still like I know there's stuff going on outside.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go do stuff.
I hear birds.
I hear birds. Fucking birds are out there partying. I'm in here sleeping.
Birds are trying to get some ass, and I'm in here just going to bed.
Come on out, Joe. We know what you're dressed like. Some very inappropriate birds in Traverse City.
Yeah.
Hitting on Joe outside of his window.
A lot of birds.
A lot of birds. I feel like the summer's been going by fast.
Yeah. That's kind of how it always feels for me because I keep really busy with work in the summertime. But it does seem to be just flying by. We're already almost halfway through July.
I know. Well, when it starts picking up, we're gonna be skipping a week and a week here. I got a family reunion, and then I got a trip to go see a concert, and then it's like, man, it's like the end of August. I do like the beginning of September a lot. That's probably one of my favorite times in Michigan.
Why are the mics so sensitive to everything I do, but not to my voice?
You can pick up dabs from a mile away. Joe
Click,
has to be
clack.
within an inch. Yeah. I wonder if we turn like the treble down, if that would catch less,
Perhaps.
or if it would just catch my high pitched voice less. I'll push this away like a professional. What else besides anything else besides the Kong movie?
Um, I might need a minute to catch my breath. We might want to have a designated smoking section of the show so we always know to cut out a certain spot.
Or you could just be a man and not cough after your dabs.
It's fair. Very fair.
Yeah. I mean, can't believe they sell dabs to kids.
I can't either. Go in there and I ask for candy and they give me dabs.
Yeah, if this stuff makes you cough, good thing I didn't bring my rig up today. Run you over.
I show up and I ask for candy and they're like, "You're fat. They give you this. No calories."
It'd be so good if you went and they're like, "We have some sugar-free options for you."
Sure you wouldn't prefer a RSO?
Dude, bud tenders they're not as bad in Michigan, but in Oregon, they were way too aggressive about health stuff. I would not be surprised if they would get you with that. Let me show you the sugar-free RSOs.
I mean, shit.
Bunch of dispensaries just get shut down for fat shaming.
I feel like around here they'd probably support that kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm. We only want beautiful beaches on the people of Traverse City.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fat person who's into fat shaming. I mean, it is a choice.
I'm not going to shame you, Joe.
It's okay. Yeah,
I accept you.
it is bullying when you just do it. So I mean, you don't have to. But I do it to Scott a lot.
That's true.
He was beautiful like 3 years ago.
Scott, I still think you're beautiful. There's just more of you to love now.
Yeah, he was slim.
Oh, okay.
He was living off cigarettes.
The two of you, in all honesty, to go back to the 4th of July, made me very nervous.
Why?
There was a couple times where you guys would fall, and I was like, they're not getting back up.
Oh, we played spike ball hard.
We played spike ball. We were There were some dives.
I was worried about. I always pop. I'm not a guy to get injured.
Well, it's like Joe's
Scott.
outside all the time. I figured you would pop back up. Scott went down hard a couple times.
Scott's had bad injuries doing not extreme activities.
Oh, that would have been a tough way to lose him.
Yeah.
Down on the 4th.
Like he broke his Achilles tendon playing slow pitch softball.
Yeah, you were saying that.
He tore his ACL doing something not crazy, and he like slipped a disc playing golf.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was having a rough stretch in, I think it was 2021.
Just smoking cigarettes is tough.
Yeah, then he lost a lot of weight because he couldn't move.
He lost weight because he couldn't move?
I think he was in a lot of pain.
Okay.
I don't know. He stopped drinking too.
Yeah.
It's putting you on blast, Scott.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I lost a lot of weight in my accident too. It's the opioids. They made me not hungry. I don't like to eat when I was on those.
That's fair. I haven't tried the opioids. I think I'd like them too much.
You know,
I like being sleepy.
You would love them then.
Yeah.
Because, like, all of them made me sleepy, and, like, it was crazy. It was like a 3-week just, like, fog that, like, I barely remember. Like, you get up, eat, go to the bathroom, go back to sleep.
Pretty tight.
Rock and roll. Joe's like, give me that lifestyle. I feel like you would like fentanyl. Just don't overdo it.
I mean, yeah.
I see a lot of the
Never really
fentanyl
tried that
zombies.
realm,
Yeah,
but-
they look sleepy.
Oh, you know what? Media I have been consuming. It's a street cam in Philadelphia on Kensington Avenue.
Okay.
Speaking of nodding off,
Speaking of how much Joe loves to nod off, tried heroin.
you get a lot of people just on the street, just flexible, very flexible, just standing, and then like the head touching the ground.
Dude, some of those are
Straight
just
back.
nuts. Yeah. The part is that they come back is what surprised me. Like touching the head to the ground, I've seen lots of people do that. Coming back up. Where did this fascination come from?
I saw him talking about it on a podcast, and then I pulled it up, started watching it. There's always like 500 people watching it. And there's a whole chat in the live stream.
What up, fam?
Yeah,
Just fucking watching the zombies.
because there's like 5 different cameras,
Oh, okay.
and It's like the whole block, pretty much.
Is this like a government website, or is this like
I
a
don't
person
know.
like stitched it together?
I don't know. I think they're like public cameras.
Brendan, we need you to produce this.
It's pretty tight. And then in the live stream, they'll be like, "Shit's going down in camera 3. You gotta switch over."
Okay, so it's not like you just like switch between all the cameras.
Yeah, it's just on YouTube. Yeah, I can pull it up here.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued. I don't care what it does for the podcast. I just want to see this. And I'll describe it to the people.
Yeah, we'll be very
Because I lived in Portland, Oregon for 10 years. So my eyes were the street cams to a lot of homelessness. He's got it saved on his bookmark bar.
I don't. I gotta go to YouTube. Yahoo.
Yahoo.com.
Apparently, I use Yahoo as a browser.
That is insane. He does. Bing, I see it right there. In 2013, I worked a job for 2.5 days trying to sell ad space on Yahoo to realtors. And I would call them up and they'd be like, "What is Bing?" I'd be like, "It's like Google." Like, well, why wouldn't I advertise on that? Oh, okay. So it is just a street cam. We're looking at maybe 8 feet up in the air, just panning across the street.
Yeah. Viewers can
Oh my gosh,
look at that.
that's hectic.
Just a street. Sometimes the cops show up. This guy's clearly on something. These two are up to no good. Oh, it's a hot corner today.
Dang, yes.
Ooh, wheelchair.
It's
she's on the
so
joke.
crazy to be just like voyeuristically watching this.
Yeah.
Because like in Portland, like it was always like you didn't want to watch too hard because you didn't want to be seen watching.
Well, you're not. There's a camera that they don't know about.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Like
Like
too
it's
whacked out on fentanyl.
well, I would catch myself like I would be in downtown Portland. There was a square that was like right next to a bunch of the food carts, and I would get food truck food and just like hang out and just people watch. And I'd be like, that's too much watching sometimes. But this, dude, I can see why people watch this. This is crazy.
Yeah. I've got a couple different cams.
Do you have an experience like seeing the homeless up close, like in a big city anywhere?
I mean, sure. Not like for prolonged amounts of time, but I've walked through cities plenty of times with homeless people.
Yeah.
This one's a little more. This is the same one.
Yeah. It's like growing up like in Sheboygan, it was just like, and then like going to school up in Marquette, you just don't, there's just not really, it's tough to be homeless year round in somewhere like northern Michigan.
Yeah, that seems rough. Camp 5, that one's usually pretty tame. Camp 5's a nicer part of the block. Something going on there.
Are these guys fighting over a suitcase?
What's this unattended child up to?
This is unattended. You can't trust kids.
There's a bike laying there. You can take that. This probably isn't great podcast content, but
No, but I can see how people get wrapped up in this. That's intriguing.
yeah,
Just watching people.
just go to YouTube and search Kensington Ave, Philadelphia live, and it's top results.
I could see like the idea of like God being a person that just is in the clouds watching us now. That makes way more sense to me than it ever has before after watching that for 2
Nice.
minutes.
Guy playing The Sims.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on a roller coaster. It goes nowhere. Saw some real crazy tendencies in Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
do tell.
I don't know. It's how you rule out the serial killers.
Yeah,
There's kids that got too obsessed with that game. Like, everybody wants to roller coaster off a track once.
Yeah.
But there are some kids that were in there every day, all school year. That's all they were doing.
that's fair. People taking the ladders out of pools in The Sims. They drown when you do that. They can't get out. You know?
They can't do with like the body weight, like the pull out of the pool at all?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Maybe in the newer games.
Yeah, they're not very strong in that world.
Yeah.
What other terrible things can you do to characters in The Sims?
Not much.
That's the main one.
I think that's about the only way you can get them. You can make them piss themselves.
Okay, yeah. To death?
I don't think they die. I think they just get upset.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a fair response.
Yeah, appropriate response, some would
Yeah.
say. Angry.
Pretty much.
If you're not getting angry when you go to the bathroom on yourself, the end is near.
Yeah. You got some sort of something.
Something's going. You're near when the bathroom. That's such a sure sign.
Yeah.
When animals, human, and whatever, once the bathroom capabilities start going, you're on your way out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's when I want to go out.
It's tough to keep going, I would imagine.
I don't want to be diapered up twice in my life.
No.
I
Not when you know the shame around it.
Yeah. When you're a kid, yeah, that's a really good show. That's cutting. It's cutting right there. When you're a baby, you don't know.
Yeah.
When you're an adult, you're like, yeah. I feel like too, like
Just got a Jamaican woman wiping your ass.
no.
Oh, bumper clap, you done gone shit on yourself again.
Dude, my grandma's in one of those care homes right now, and it's just like, that's crazy.
You get hit by Jamaicans.
When she was in Florida, we don't think she was being hit. She was being probably neglected. Like,
Yeah.
it got to the point where my mom had to like install like a camera in the room, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can do this." And then like they were catching a lot of stuff, like just like she would go to the bathroom on her couch, and then like they wouldn't do it, like check on her for like a day, and then like we were bringing this stuff up to them, and then they're like, "You can't have that camera in that room anymore." And we're like, "You probably need to get grandma to a different spot."
Yeah, probably need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, when they were like, "You can't be catching us with that camera anymore. We don't like this."
This is actually really bad for us. So
Yeah.
we're going to go ahead and need you to stop.
Yeah, so then we moved her from Florida to Michigan. Things have been going pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it's a wild disease. I am absolutely certain I don't want to go through that.
No, it doesn't sound fun.
In Oregon's chill now. Oregon, if you have a terminal disease, you can go there and they'll euthanize you.
I think that's big in Canada.
Yeah. As an American citizen, can you go do that?
I don't know. You could
Like a tourist thing?
I mean, you could lose your passport and claim to be John Doe.
That's true. I'm just a Canadian citizen, eh?
I'm just like a good old boy, eh? From like way up north, eh?
Please kill me.
I think I'm fucking dying or something. Appreciate you just putting an end to it if you got the time, bud.
I just give you a jar of maple syrup and then just let you chug it.
Look in the syrup, bud.
One last sugar high.
Taste the sweet maple one last time.
You'll be tapping trees in heaven. They only have heaven in Canada. That's the good thing about dying there.
There's no hell in Canada.
No, dude, they're too friendly. There's no house. Everybody goes to heaven.
They're all dogs.
Yeah, dude, all dogs and all Canadians go to heaven.
Wow.
It's a beautiful system.
You just go to heaven. It's just all Canadians and dogs. That's pretty crazy.
Speaking of media, that movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven, was a wild movie.
With
That was-
Charlie Sheen voicing a dog in a kids movie.
It was a wild choice, dude. I mean, before the internet was just a wild time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Get away
like,
with stuff.
yeah, I feel like anytime you hear about like the crazy stuff and like when it gets called out, like the Nickelodeon stuff or like the Me Too, and they're like, I can't believe this is happening now. It's like, it's probably always been happening. And it was probably way worse when they couldn't get caught.
Yeah, probably.
Like, you can only imagine the depravity when they were like pretty sure they could never get caught.
Yeah.
It's probably good we have cell phones now.
Probably a safer world with them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to see more of like bad stuff on the news, but it's like that stuff was still happening. It just wasn't on the news.
Yeah. But your day to day is pretty good, right?
I know. I do feel
The
bad
news
about
is
that
bad,
sometimes.
but your day to day is not bad most of the time.
That's why I don't watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna do anything about it. I feel bad about that stuff, but I'm not gonna do anything about it.
Fair.
Yeah, dude. All dogs go to heaven. That's what I'm focused on.
Yeah.
I don't understand humans. I'm focused on getting dogs into heaven.
Trying to get my bitches into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
My studs too.
Mm-hmm. Feel like your balls are probably up there, player. That was a great way to lose momentum. Talking about dog balls.
Yeah, well, you know.
Are you a Star Wars guy at all, Joe?
I never really got into the Star Wars. No.
This is going to be one for the locals. It's probably why Austin likes you so much. We're fighting over Star Wars right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. He thinks it's so good. And I think a lot of Star Wars is terrible, but I think the first movie that ever came out, the 1977 A New Hope, I think is uniquely good and special and worthwhile.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a bad movie. I just didn't do much for me.
I feel like where it gets me is, and where I feel like Austin Cole is so fucking wrong and doesn't get anything.
No, you stick to your guns, baby.
Now he's going to be doubling down. I'm not going to show him. I was going to show him this until you said that. It's going to hype him up too much, and we'll be fighting forever. But it's from like a martial arts perspective. Like a lot of people when they get into martial arts, they calm down. It's like strength isn't about like, and being all this. It's about like letting go and letting things just happen. And that's the journey that Luke is on. He's like, I gotta let go, and he does, and he wins because of it.
I give it over to the Force.
Yeah, dude, you just gotta let go and let God. Gotta let the big man take over and blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I've been watching their newest one, The Acolyte. So it's set like 200 years before like the main set of movies, and it is terrible.
That's no good.
No, but there's been like the last episode was not like redeeming, but they had a really good fight scene, and they stabbed this young Jedi in the chest 3 times, and it was pretty sweet.
That is pretty tight.
It was one of the most gruesome Star Wars deaths so far, and I really liked it.
Star Wars needs gruesome deaths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall, I would suggest watching The Acolyte.
How do you feel about Star Trek? Communist propaganda?
Oh, absolutely. I've always said that, and that's why I stay away from it.
Yeah.
No, I've never got into Star Trek because, like, I don't know. It's too. Star Trek is the opposite of Kong and Godzilla New Empire.
That's fair.
Like, they're trying to figure stuff out. They're trying to, like, make it make sense, and it's, like, about science. And it's, no, dude, I don't want nerd stuff. Like, that's, I always felt like when I was watching Star Trek, I'm like, this is the kind of stuff they're trying to teach me in school. Like, get out of here. I don't want this.
Well, yeah, they're exploring new worlds. They're not fighting battles.
Yeah, no. Well, the other thing, like when you're talking about sci-fi, there's like 2 different worlds. There's like 2 different ideas. There's the Star Trek idea where as we're exposed to the universe, we can use science and logic to figure it out and gain control of it. And then there's like the Lovecraft idea that like the more we learn about the universe, the more we know that it's like unknowable and scary and terrifying, and we're like in a small bubble that keeps us safe, and if we step out of line, we'll be destroyed.
Yeah.
And I find that kind of like sci-fi horror much more interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I find the Star Trek idea to be unrealistic and like coddling. Like space is going to be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think the planet, like while it's like cool and like loving, like when you watch like a nature documentary of like a praying mantis like eating another bug, it's like, oh, it's so cool, but it's like that's only cool because like we're bigger than them.
For sure. That's
Like,
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals are egregious
Yeah.
in their actions.
I think we're animals though, Joe. I think we're egregious.
We are.
Yeah. So I think Star Trek is us trying to be like, we're not animals, we're cool. It's like, no, dude, we're fucking animals.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work out very well. Do you play many video games?
I only play video games in VR these days.
Oh.
I used to play a lot of Gears of War. That was my game.
Well, there was a game a few years ago called the outer worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot how it would actually be if we were to conquer space travel. Because it's pretty much just a capitalist dystopian place where nothing really functions correctly because everybody's miserable and dying.
Trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever watch Alien, the original Alien movie?
I haven't, actually.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like with your old man, young man persona, I feel like Alien should be one of your favorite movies.
That's fair. I just recently, or not that recently, I guess, but I think I just watched Predator last year.
Oh, Predator's dog shit. Like it's like Predator is the same thing as Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah.
Like it's fun, but it's not like I feel like there's movies and media out there that make you think about the world you live in differently afterwards. They're like deep and they change you.
Yeah.
Godzilla Kong New Empire does not change you. But I feel like after watching a movie like Alien, like you are changed.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Okay.
But yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, it was just fun.
That was a fun one.
He got sweet metal fists. Just punching people. And then like everything was like so silly. They're like, yeah, Mothra. We'll just toss Mothra in there. Like, what?
Yeah, Mothra's here, obviously.
Yeah.
She's waiting on this chick to come out.
Yeah. Good thing we found this chick in the first movie. Turns out she's like the most important person in the
Turns
world.
out she's like really important.
Yeah. You know, all those times where she almost died, that would have been terrible. Ice Age.
Yeah.
Ice Age. How do you know? Are you familiar enough with the MonsterVerse? How does the sunshine work in the Hollow Earth?
I do not know. I'm not quite that deep.
Because I like when the Scar King came out, he was like pumped that he had a shadow.
Yeah, but there never seems to be a lack of lighting while they're down there.
Well, not even a lack of lighting. It's always like the golden hour. It's like perfect lighting from every direction.
Yeah. That could be from the lava.
Or like all those crystals.
Yeah, lava and crystals.
I'll have to smoke a bunch of weed and watch the first two movies again.
Above light coming in somewhere. No, because you got to take like a portal.
Yeah, you got to take a portal. I do like how the portals are all like at like the cool spots
Yeah.
in the world. They're like at the pyramids where like cool stuff happened. It's okay. I feel like the science in Kong versus Godzilla is like the same science they use for chiropractic.
That makes sense, yeah.
You know, like when you say it out loud to somebody, you're like, I can't refute that. But I feel like a real scientist would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The portals to Cairo, yeah, it's where like the religious people would go, and they're like, yeah, you just got to move the spine around, and you'll be the portals to your brain come through your spine.
Yeah, you just go into inside the earth in one hole and you come out in a different spot, obviously.
Yeah, dude, universal portal theory. It's the portals on the earth, it's the portals on your body. You get your portals right, fucking golden.
The earth is hollow, and the earth inside that is hollow. And we can only assume that earth is also hollow.
Oh, okay.
And all of it takes place on the back of an intergalactic sea turtle.
Hear me out, Kaiju universe. I just had a great idea for the next movie. Because they can't go to a third hollowness of the hollow earth. Like, these guys were the most inside. Scar King was the most inside.
Because we're deep.
Right?
Yeah.
There's one more layer.
Okay.
One more portal. It goes to Mars.
Oh, okay. Attack from Mars.
Yeah, dude. That's where the next attack comes. It comes from Mars.
Okay.
And Godzilla and King Kong and Baby Kong have to go to Mars to stop them from doing something bad to the Earth.
Fair.
That'd be sick.
But Baby Kong's like Teen Kong now.
It's got like bad Kong acne.
Yeah.
He's like very rebellious.
Very angsty Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun.
But like he's growing into his strength and like figuring stuff out. You know, and he steps up in a big way.
Yeah.
Because they were making Kong look very old. Like
True.
they definitely aged Kong in this one.
They grade him up.
Yeah, they grade him up good. I like that. As like in my 30s, like when I see like a bald leading actor or like somebody that's like graying, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
But if they kill off Kong from old age and expect me to go to a Baby Kong movie without regular Kong? Not happening.
Yeah, they've tried that in a lot of franchises, like passing the torch, and it
Yeah.
doesn't ever work. You just need to end the franchise.
No. I mean, Godzilla's can live for 2 million years, but fucking Kong. I don't know how old Godzilla is.
Dude, reptiles live way longer than primates. That's the one part of the science I actually buy.
But in the first movie, they said he was created by like the nuclear tests, right?
Oh, I thought that just woke them up and powered them up.
Oh, that makes sense.
I have a very loose remembering of those. I got into all, like when I had my accident in those 3 weeks when I was like majorly messed up on painkillers, that's when I watched all the Marvel movies, all the MonsterVerse, because I was right at that level.
Yeah.
I think it woke them up.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate to the movie.
But like the problem, it's hard because then you're like old school Godzilla lore. Like I think originally, I think you're right. Like I think it was the atomic bomb that created him.
Yeah, it was just lizard swimming around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then he was created. And then because he had a bunch of like him and Mothra. I feel like Mothra was his first enemy,
Shit, Mothra's his bitch, dog.
which is crazy that like a moth, like
Yeah.
some of those kaiju aren't as strong as the others.
True. Mothra is not strong at all.
No, he's a moth.
Yeah.
Like moths suck.
I want to see Titanosaurus, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like Mothra would also be uniquely weak because like moths love light, and that's like Godzilla's move is to like shoot light out of his mouth that kills stuff.
Good thing they're friends.
Oh my god, that was so sick when he killed the crab one. I love watching Godzilla kill stuff with the atomic breath. That's so cool. When he just jumps on him and holds, and you just the charge up.
Yeah. The charge up gets me.
Oh,
Same reason I like Dragon Ball Z.
so...
Watching somebody charge up and just yell while they let it go. You're like, oh, God.
I just wish I could yell at people that loud in my regular life.
I wish I could just blast like that.
I need to.
It's got to be so cathartic to let one of those off.
Yeah, dude. A Kamehameha.
Or I think the Godzilla blast would be even more, just like getting really pissed off and just like
Shoot it out of your mouth.
screaming in someone's face, but you're blasting a laser through it.
That would be good. That's probably what like Karens wish they could do.
Probably.
I want your manager.
Yeah.
I like how Kong was like into traps in this one.
Yeah, he had a lot of traps set up.
Yeah. Well, it was so silly too when it, like they did the more spoilers ahead when they did the second trap and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, how are they showing us this? I was so dumb they got me. I'm like, they're gonna show us the same exact scene. I'm like, oh, they left room for Baby Kong to help.
Yeah.
Good job, Baby Kong.
Yeah, he finally fucking learned his place.
Mm-hmm.
Stop retaliating.
He couldn't figure out what he wanted to do for
Yeah.
a good chunk of that movie. He's a follower.
Yeah.
I feel like
Never
Brent.
respect you, Baby Kong.
Yeah, you can't respect somebody that's just bouncing around. Wishy-washy. John Kerry of Kongs. That's an old political shout out.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's like an older man, like remembering like back in the day when Bush was running. And they were just like, I just want to vote for somebody I feel like I can have a beer with.
I just want to vote for a guy who goes out and plays golf instead of doing his job.
I know, those were the days. Those were the days.
Now they're trying to. Now the guys running still think that's the game. They're like, I play a great game of golf. This guy's shit.
I know, it just evolves every time.
You'd want to play with me, not with him.
Like we were yelling at Bush, like you're not supposed to be playing golf. And the next guys that come and like, what do you mean? I crush it at golf. Do it again.
I think Obama was a golfer.
I know he was a hooper
I don't think you're supposed to call him that.
because he was no good.
I don't know. Just
Oh, African American basketball enthusiast.
yeah, dude.
Dude, don't come after me from Obama. Obama's my favorite president. I defend Obama against all kinds of people.
Well, how do you feel about the allegations that he, not real allegations, but internet allegations that he had his private chef killed and put the body in the pond?
Ooh, I haven't heard about that one. I don't like that at all.
That was a few months back. It was suspect or the internet suspicion was that he was. I believe the chef was openly gay, and
Oh,
yeah,
they were doing it, and then he had to hush him up.
and yeah, that's the suspicion. But I guess the official report was he was paddleboarding in the pond, and then they just somebody who had a history of being a very strong swimmer.
Dude, paddleboarding's hard.
The pond's a weird place to go out.
I know. I gotta go check out this pond.
Yeah,
I have a lot of feelings about that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, nobody dies paddleboarding in a pond. At first, I was like, "What do you do? Like, do like a medium well steak when Obama wanted it medium rare?"
I mean, to be fair, he could have been like whacked out on drugs, and they tried to save face on it.
Oh, he got fucked. You know, okay, being on a paddleboard on drugs is fun. That's why you always gotta have a spotter, though. Like, if a group of you goes out, somebody's got to stay sober, and that's why you never do psychedelics alone. Sounds like the chef needed a friend.
Yeah,
Or to not be murdered by the Obamas.
could be anything. I believe the Obamas were out of town that weekend.
Yeah, of course, dude. You can't have somebody whacked in your pond if you're there, Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, come on, get it together, dude. You never watched The Sopranos?
I haven't seen The Sopranos. No.
Me neither. I love watching the YouTube clips of it though.
They do get me.
Yeah, I need like the condensed. Like it's basically like the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know a lot about rich people, but when I was teaching kiteboarding, like it was out on the East Coast, and it was pretty close to DC, and like I met enough rich people to know that like there's just a certain level of money that turns a good percentage of people into sexual deviants. Like there just isn't enough sex, there isn't weird enough stuff they can do. They just have to keep pushing the limit. Because I feel like how earlier we were talking about how like you always feel like behind, like, you
Yeah.
never feel like you have enough energy. If you're rich, you do have enough energy. You can get enough sleep. You can have a dietitian. And then what do you do with that energy? You use it for sexual deviancy. So like, am I surprised? Like if Obama was here and he was telling us the whole truth, he's like, yeah, dude, I was fucking my chef. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
But I also feel like America's a crazy place, and those guys live in a world where it's all about like image. And he's like, I can't be seen as gay, so I can also see him whacking that person. But I can also believe that like the Clintons murdered a bunch of people. I believe that like anybody at a certain level of power is probably having sex and killing people in a way that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
But why Obama's my favorite president is because out of all the sexual deviant murderers, he's the one that gave me health care that in a couple of times of need made sure I'm not like tens of thousands of dollars in debt.
That's tight.
So yeah, I'm not saying that like I think it's cool that I don't mind that he's a sexual deviant. That part doesn't bother me.
Get your freak on.
Yeah, get your freak on. The murdering bothers me, but like I don't feel like at that level there's anybody that's not doing that. So when I say favorite president, I'm like, yeah, they're all murderers. He's just the one that I like the best. That's how I feel about it.
Attitude wise, but not his actions. I like Andrew Jackson.
Attitude wise, but not his actions. I don't know about his attitude or his actions. Please explain.
Well, he was responsible for the Trail of Tears. I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
But
Now you say that, I do bring that shout out Sheboygan Public Schools. I do remember.
but he did a lot of cool stuff. He was the first attempted assassination against the president, and the guy's gun misfired. So the guy pulled out a second gun, which also misfired. And then Jackson started beating the shit out of him with his cane.
That's sick.
Yeah, and the Jackson's helpers who were the equivalent of the old school Secret Service, had to pull him off his assassin.
He's just beating him senseless.
Yeah, pretty badass.
Were guns just like crazy unreliable back then?
I guess. I think they're like having two be unreliable in a row is like
Wild.
very wild.
Was Jackson before or after Lincoln?
I believe before.
So like Lincoln's wife was like, God, we have terrible luck.
Right.
One gun and it fired.
Yeah.
Fucking Jackson got away with two. This is bullshit.
Yeah, That's true.
Abraham, you're the least lucky president we've had.
Point blank too.
That's true.
And Jackson just stared him down while he did it.
What was he doing as he pulled the second one? I should try to slap it out of his hand.
I think he was probably reaching for his cane or something.
Or maybe this dude was fast. He was
Yeah.
like a 1-2.
Probably. He was probably prepared for the first one jam.
Yeah.
Then with the second one jammed, he's probably just had a stupid look on his face.
I am about to get hit by a cane.
Should have had a knife too.
It is wild how hard it is to assassinate. Like the whole thing that started World War One.
Oh yeah.
Like they threw the grenade and like missed and like all that, and then the guy just like happened to stop by a cafe that the assassins were at. Just what? You got to get super unlucky to get assassinated between like 1850 and 1930.
Yeah. Or like was it RFK Senior who got shot in the back 5 times even though his attacker was in front of him the whole time?
No, I didn't hear
That's
that.
got to be hard to do.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, a little bit.
When was that?
60s or 70s. It was after JFK.
Yeah.
It was when he was running for president, I think.
Okay.
And then he got shot.
Yeah, what was the Mr. Incredible from like the Fantastic Four? He had like the stretchy arms. He could have like and shot him in the back 4 times.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was
Mr.
something.
Fantastic.
Yeah, dude. Maybe it's something like that.
Maybe.
Somebody like really maybe. Okay, here's what it is. What if he was getting a hug? His attacker was giving him a hug
Okay.
and then shot him. Well, that'd be scary though, because then the bullets could hit you.
There was also like a lot of witnesses there who were sitting that he was in front of them. Or I don't know the full story.
There's probably a lot of guys standing behind the witnesses. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna stay in front, or you're gonna get shot in the front too.
Yeah.
You're like, I see what you're saying. I'll come around to your way of thinking.
So as much as I like RFK Jr., you know he's got to fall in line the second things come down because he's watched his family die from not falling in line. Are you going to keep the streak going?
You think he's one of those like third time's a charm?
Maybe.
He's super superstitious.
He's going to be like, well, now I got the resources that I can put it out. Yeah.
Dude, the brainworm says, no way.
I don't know.
That's what. Oh, dude, the brainworm's looking this way. RFK's looking this way. I think he's got this.
Yeah.
I think that guy's got a real chance.
Is he on the ballot most places?
Can you write him in?
I'm pretty sure you can write in, yeah.
I feel like that debate was insane enough that I could see a president winning from write-ins.
It's crazy they're not like even giving him a platform to be an option.
With as bad as that was, you seem like you should be grasping for straws.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, you got history as a politician. You know what you're talking. You sound sensible.
Here's my question. For a write-in vote, does it have to be spelled correctly?
I would.
Because if that's true, we're screwed. Spelling is not this country's strong suit.
That's a tough one. I would assume it.
America, look it up, write it on your hand in permanent marker, get to those polls.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure.
Somebody just, it would have to be. You can't just be interpreting that.
Well, if there's one candidate that has a name like that that's getting a percentage of votes and it's only 1 letter difference, and you don't, I don't know.
Some guy that spelled his name wrong is going to be the president.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Robert with 2 T's. That would be good.
Kennedy with an I.
A little heart over it. It's like, that's just how it is on my birth certificate. My mom loved me. Oh. What do you think? About ready to wrap this one up?